Hi guys, it's Ninah of GetYouSomeFree.life, and you are tuned into the last class of the Sister Solstice Summer School. Okay, the Sister Circle Solstice Summer School. I'm really happy that you're joining me. I'm going to hop right in and finish up what I was talking about last night before I was rudely cut off. I have no idea why it was cut off, but there is a storm happening right now, and we've had the lights to go off and come back on intermittently. So hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully that, I can garner this energy in my crown and channel it to make sure that I can actually finish this class without any interruptions. Okay. So I want to begin where I left off last night. And I got cut off right before I was going to say, in your power, which is funny because the power went out. So, message. Okay. If you are here, please say something in the chat room. Last night, I talked about the first eye, or what we call the third eye chakra. And I was speaking about the imbalances and how we're all connected and how we are to use this first eye. It is what connects our bodies to the spiritual realm. And so when we're completely aligned, we're able to utilize the power of our first eye, which utilizes all of our senses, so that what comes through the crown can be pushed through to be utilized, to be in service to your purpose. Okay. So let's start tonight's class. We are talking about the crown. I wrapped my crown tonight, and I wrapped it in purple. There's a color that I really wanted to wear specifically for the crown, but my crown told me not to spend the crown money on it. So there you go. It's my little tassel. Okay. So I'm going to read you the description of tonight's class. And that is, we're going to talk about what your haters know about you. We are going to discuss our state of being, how you are doing versus how you are being. We are going to discuss something that I am excited to begin to discuss. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the subject, but I wanted to just go ahead and do a slow intro of it. And it's called Tempus Incognito. Why you don't have time for that. We're going to discuss, are you worthy of your being? Why circumstances don't matter. I may do the story time. I may do Nina's glory story. I don't know if we'll have time for that. And then we'll end with the crown, Bish. Okay. So in starting tonight's class, I want you to understand that it is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of each and every one of us who's watching this broadcast, and each and every one of us on this planet, period, to self-actualize to our highest potential. The power is literally inside of all of us, okay? So I want to back everything up before I bring you into the crown. I want to back everything up and go all the way back to the root chakra. So we've talked about what the root chakra can look like when it is out of balance. And we've discussed a little bit about what each chakra will look like when it's imbalanced, but we've mostly discussed the imbalances. And the reason why I wanted to discuss the imbalances first is because it's kind of like a wake-up call where you begin to realize, oh, I have that symptom, or I do this, or I do that, or I've had that done to me. Maybe this particular person didn't feel safe, in this or that part of their lives. And so that correlates to that chakra, which is supposed to be used as a mirror to have you to figure out, well, why did I draw that energy? What was this person reflecting to me, or what was I reflecting to them? Okay. So we're all magnets. We know that we're just whatever it is that we decide we want to pull to us, our energy wants to pull to us, it happens. Okay. And so going back to the root, let me pull up. I want to pull this up so I can make sure that I cover every part. Every part. I do want to thank the ones who have watched every night, I so appreciate that. Thank you so much. Tasha, Shaniqua, Charlotta, who else? Cynthia. If I'm forgetting someone, please charge it to my heart and the fact that I am not wearing my glasses right now. And I'm not wearing my glasses because they need readjusting and they're kind of sliding off my face, so it gets annoying. Okay, so we discussed the root chakra on day one, and we talked about the fact that if you don't understand the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. That is the root of everything, understanding what its purpose is. This is why you can go somewhere or do something or offer something, and if that other person hasn't invested in it, they take full disadvantage of it. Not advantage, because to take advantage of something is a good thing. To take disadvantage means that you're misusing the advantage that you would have had. Okay. And so the first question in the root is, who the F do you believe you are? Who do you think you are? Let's go back to your childhood. Let's go back to your name. What does your name mean? What is your name meant to express? And if you don't like it, change it so that you can change your vibration and step fully into the purpose that you believe you have. Okay. We talked about why your ungrounded root creates crisis and why we create things from crisis mode, because we don't know how to make a choice to get ourselves from the life that we've been conditioned to have to the life that we choose to have. We forget that we have the power of choice. Okay. I talked about my big ass busted root chakra story. If you didn't hear it, go back to the first class after this one. And I talked about defining who we are by our base, because once we define who we are by our base or our foundation, that's when we can begin to truly heal the root chakra. Healing the root chakra is not just about saying mantras and affirmations. Healing the root chakra is not just about eating red fruit and wearing red panties. It's not about, girl, give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you are strong in yourself. Yeah, that hasn't really been working out for everybody. Understanding and then understanding, knowing that you know who you are, what you are, and how you serve this planet and how you like to be served is the very foundation of building a life of orgasmic exaltation, because that's what we are here for. We are here to create the ultimate pleasure. That's all that the universe exists for, is to create beautiful pleasure. There are some people that stargaze because that's the ultimate beauty for them. There are some people that love to have sex because that is the ultimate beauty for them. There are some people that aren't interested in sex in that manner, but they create things. They paint, they make body scrubs, they make doors and beautiful furniture, and they decide that they want to make a different type of hinge. It can get really minute. There are people who do claymation, and that's the most beautiful thing that they feel they can ever create. And that's amazing, because when it's coming from their base of knowing that I am a creator, I am a co-shaper, I am a co-former, then their vibrations are at their highest, and they bring happiness to everyone else around them, or they elevate everyone into everyone's own personal sense of happiness. I'll put it that way. When you go to an art gallery, you may hear people say, oh my God, what is that? It's just a dot. That's stupid. Versus another person, oh my gosh, this resonates and touches me so well. Oh my gosh, this is everything. This is just how small we are in this macrocosm. And it becomes something beautiful for them. You don't have to try to convince them that it's ugly or that it doesn't mean anything to you when this person is in their happiness, their state of being. To try to bring them down from that means that you are ungrounded in knowing that, yes, your opinion still matters, whether they believe it's the greatest thing and you believe it's the worst thing on the planet. That's fine. You don't have to bring someone else's happiness down, because when you do that, you don't know who you are in that moment. You don't realize that you're safe to have a different opinion, and you don't have to run around telling everybody. You can enjoy your opinion. Okay. We talked about on day 2, the sacral chakra. And I titled that "It's Morphin' Time," literally, because the sacral chakra is where you create. You are changing something. You are morphing. People come together, and they come together in oneness. Now, there's something I want to say about coming together in oneness, because sometimes people take that completely and utterly, literally, as if their physical bodies are going to merge. I have not met a married couple yet, whether they've been married 2 years or 20 years or even over 60 years, that has been able to say, we've merged so much that in the middle of the night when I have to go pee, honey, he goes and pees for me. When I have gas, oh my gosh, he gives off the best poots because that we merged together. I burped for him. We are born alone, even if we're born with a twin or a triplet or a quad, whatever, or a sextuplet. Alone, it's not happening. I don't do it for the vine, and I'm not doing it for you, okay? But it's morphing time. You're literally changing. You're using alchemy to create something new, to reproduce something. But what is it that you're reproducing? What is it that you're representing to the world? Okay. And I also talked about why your smothered sacral creates depression, obsession, suppression, and addiction. When you're not creating, you start to attach yourself to other things outside of yourself. And then you try to drain the holy F out of it to try to extract the very thing that you could create yourself. Okay? Has anybody told you you're a creator lately? If they haven't, please know that. Okay? On day 3, we talked about why you panic when your gut is not connected to your first eye. Your gut is your physical, it's your physical intuition. It connects you physically to your spiritual self. Okay. And when your gut is off, when you're not eating properly for your body type, I'm not promoting veganism, vegetarianism, or being a carnivore. I'm not promoting any of that. But when you eat according to your body type, there are times when I do not have to have meat at all. But there are times, especially when I'm starting my moon cycle, when I crave meat, and I crave a certain type of meat, and I know why I crave that meat, and it's because of the iron content, it's because of certain vitamins and minerals that are contained within that meat. And surprisingly, I don't have any problems digesting that particular type of meat when I'm on my moon. But let me try it when I'm off, and it's like my body cannot deal with it. This is why you'll get a lot of women who have cravings for chocolate. Real true chocolate contains a lot of magnesium. And so our bodies speak to us and tell us what we need to feed it. The other day I craved banana chips. I'm not a big fan of banana chips. I'll eat them, but I realized I was craving potassium. And it's easier for me to eat banana chips and not break out because I have a histamine intolerance. So I'll itch and I have, an allergy to it. My mouth will break out if I eat bananas between a certain ripening stage. It's really odd. So banana chips, my body was saying, we can do banana chips though, but we need this potassium. There are times where I'll crave something really odd that I'll think is really odd. And then I'll look it up and realize that these are the vitamins and minerals and amino acids that I need. Okay. So our gut tells us what we need. When it's connected to our intuition, we are able to, before we have to jump into fight or flight, before our adrenaline gets pumping, we're able to go within, ground ourselves and say, hold on, even in this situation, it may look crazy, but I am safe. I'm going to make it out of this. I don't have to fight. I don't even have to run. I can stand in my power. And our nightly guest has joined us for some back rubs. And so when your gut isn't connected, your intuition is off. So you have to make sure that you're minding what you put in your body, because your body is your tool on this plane. You can have spirit all day, but without spirit to channel the energy through something, which is your body, there's no point in being here. Okay. let's see. On the third day, we had Tasha Ariel of TashaAriel.com. I'm sorry, not the third day. Was it the third day? Yeah, it was the third day. And we talked about our solar plexus. And she talked about getting your solar plexus flexing. And she has a solar plexus flexing oil. I forgot to bring it out, but I will make sure that I post her link, or you can look her up at TashaAriel.com. She is just this amazing Capricorn sun manifesting human being. She's absolutely amazing at everything that she does. So after this broadcast, and after you look at all the links, please take the time to go to her site and support this sister, but also get the oil if you need help in healing your solar plexus, because this is where our will comes from, our willpower, our source of power. This is where we actualize from. We put things into action. And if your foundation is off and you're not creating properly, that's what you're going to put out into the world, is a half-assed product, a half-assed purpose. I want to do half-ass around here, okay? On the fourth day, we talked about the heart chakra and how it connects us it connects the as above to the so below to create the miracle of the one thing. The one thing really is orgasmic exaltation, which is unconditional love, okay? We talked about heart vibrations, getting into your heart space and the toroidal flow. Go back and watch the videos that I posted. I do want to say that I did create playlists for each chakra. So go and take a look, and I'll be adding more videos as we go on, as I continue to offer classes and do videos. And the unbreak pole, little ting ting's heart, we're going to actually talk about that today. Okay, so everything is going to tie into the crown. On the fifth day, we talked about maximizing your manifesting motor, which is your throat chakra. And we talked about why you're always defending yourself, or why you're always on the offense. Okay. And so we're going to learn how to clear our throats tonight. Let me clear my throat. We talked about the chakra and the throat chakra and the ego echo. And I do want to backtrack a little bit to discuss what I mean about the ego, or in regards to the ego. And then yesterday we talked about why your intuition has no F's to give and why your ego comes back. Okay. And so even though that video was cut off yesterday, I'm going to bring everything back into full circle as we talk about the crown. So I want to check YouTube and make sure that I'm not missing any comments right now. That only happens when I'm pregnant. Yes, those cravings. Yeah, it's a trip, because our bodies, you know, they love us. It wants to live. It wants to survive. So it's going to ask for what it needs. Okay. And now I'm back. So the first thing I want to do before we really get started is to go into our heart space like we always do, go into our opening. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. You're going to repeat after me. And then we're going to take 3 more cleansing breaths, and we're going to begin tonight's class. Okay? So I want you to get centered, close your eyes, and tap into that beautiful heart space of yours. Okay. We're going to take a deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Take your deepest inhale yet. Slowly exhale into peace. Repeat after me. I am safe with me. I love myself. I am responsible for my creations, as they are a reflection of how safe I feel in my power. I trust myself to express unconditional love and to receive unconditional love, because I am a mouthful of self-fulfilling prophecies. I continue to seek to know myself, and in knowing myself, I understand that we are all connected. We are all connected through spirit. I am holy and self-sourced. I am energy, and I am here to transmute matter into spirit and spirit into matter. I am that I am because I matter. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Take your deepest inhale yet. And breathe out into your I am. Thank you so much for that. And I want to explain that we've been building up this opening since the beginning. And so on the first class, or in the first class, we began with the root chakra, which was, I am safe with me. I love myself. That is bringing you into a foundation of safety so that you can begin to do your other work. There are very few people outside of just for the thrill of it. It's really hard to have the most glorious sex in the middle of a war zone. It's kind of hard to do. You're usually trying to save your life. You're usually trying to survive so that you can make love. Okay? When we talk about the sacral, that I am responsible for my creations as they are a reflection of how safe I feel in my power. That is the sacral and the solar plexus together, okay? I trust myself to express unconditional love and to receive unconditional love is your heart space. And we're using the throat chakra when we say, because I am a mouthful of self-fulfilling prophecies. I continue to seek to know myself, and in knowing myself deals with the first eye. I understand that we are all connected. More first eye. And then the crown sums it up, that we are all connected through spirit. I am holy, self-sourced energy, here to transmute matter into spirit and spirit into matter. I am that I am because I matter. Now, there will be people who will be trying to figure out, what does she mean by, you always want to equate that to all lives matter, Black lives matter, whatever. This has nothing to do with that. When I say you matter, we're matter in density. Again, what is spirit going to do without a vehicle to operate through, right? So our bodies have to matter. They have to be here in order for us to express our purpose, okay? So going all the way back to the root, I want to read to you yet again, because this is coming full circle, what these classes have been about in bringing together a sisterhood or a sistership where women who have said that they don't believe in no new friends, F a sister circle. I've been to sister circles. They're not real. They always want to get you for your money or take your man or make you trust and then betray you. Whatever has happened up until this point, you have to understand that you have to take some responsibility in that. Okay. And I've been in many sister circles. And what I love about having been in those sister circles that I didn't recognize at the time was that we were all bringing one another into levels of awareness that we hadn't tapped into before. And sometimes the unknown can be scary. Sometimes we think the unknown is supposed to hurt. And because a lot of us as sisters have really faulty foundations, all we were going to reproduce in that sister circle was what we knew anyway. And how to be a sister in the way that we thought we were supposed to be sisters. For some, I used to say for some odd reason, I would meet a lot of women who didn't grow up with sisters. They were separated from their sisters. And even though I grew up with my sister, one particular sister, hey, Shishabu. Yes, I said your name. And I have a lot of sisters. I didn't necessarily grow up with them on a day-to-day basis. So, of course, I'm going to draw a lot of young women, young women, because we're all under 65. After that, you're just a mature bomb-ass sister, okay? But I've drawn a lot of women who either didn't grow up with their sisters, were the only girl in their family, were separated from their sisters and wanted to know them desperately, but they didn't really grow up in a real sistership. So we would all come together seeking the sistership that we did not have when we were growing up, not realizing that it wasn't going to last because we didn't understand that our foundation had to be repoured, had to be relayed. We needed to stop and sit down and commune with one another and say, okay, so this is my version of sisterhood. And the other person can say, well, this is mine. Do these link up? Do these match? Where can we make them all come together so that we can be on one accord, so that we can extract the most out of this sistership and give the most so that we can come together to edify one another. Okay. So I want to read you the original channeled message that made me want to do these classes. Okay. Because we talk about getting our summer body ready, but our spiritual bodies need to be aligned as well. Okay. So chakras and sisterhood. When you look at a rainbow, you choose to either see the beautiful blend of colors, or you could choose to see fragmented light. When we look at our sisters with fragmented sight, we don't see the full truth of who they are and how they are working to better themselves. If you encounter a sister who is too dominating, do you recognize that she has a fierce spirit and feels secure enough in herself to speak out unabashedly? When you encounter a sister who is too needy or too clingy, do you recognize that she has a heart that is so full of loving compassion that she must share it with others? When you encounter a sister who is too quiet and introverted, do you recognize that she has a universe of thoughts and imagery in her mind that can illuminate the dark and uphold the light? Can you see the full spectrum? Can you see yourself in her? And can she see herself reflected in you? If not, what does your lack of sight say about your own fragmentation? We embody the light waves of the frequency in which we vibrate, so that when we blend together, we bring unawareness into awareness. We create a rainbow. And what's at the end of a rainbow? A pot of gold. The gold is the sun in you, the real treasure. Okay? So in talking about chakras and sisterhood, I realized that a lot of my friendships were built on a foundation of, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. If I tell you this secret, please don't betray me. It can be a very painful process to get to know someone, believe that you can trust them, and find out that you cannot. But that foundation starts with you and you being able to trust yourself in that sistership first. Everything goes back to the root. And when you join a sistership and there's a sister who is grounded in herself, but you're so used to manipulating people in order to get what you want, and you feel like she won't change her mind for you, or she won't go to the left or to the right, she won't deviate from her purpose, you could be the sister that tries to change everyone's attitude and go against this sister. Sometimes our shadows come out and we don't see our shadows because we're so busy trying to manipulate someone else's shadow. I remember watching different women post the same question over and over again. What kills sisterhood? Why don't sisterhood, why doesn't the sistership last? What is sisterhood? Why can't women get along? And it's really because we don't feel safe in who we are. If you're constantly thinking that someone's going to take something away from you, if your sacral is so jacked up that you think that someone is going to take what you've created, then you need to check yourself and come into alignment, because there is no one on this planet that can take anything away from you that you created without your permission. Okay? When you have a sister who seems really action oriented and really strong, and you can give her an idea and she's ready to go, but you're not ready yet because you're so used to procrastinating, because procrastination is another word for fear, and she's not afraid, it can be intimidating. Or you have the sisters who don't know how to slow down and check in with everybody and make sure that everything is okay before, and that everybody's on one accord before moving forward. And that when you move forward, you don't have to move forward from a place of panic or a place of that's outside of your intuition, so that you miss signs and symbols that says it's not the time. This is not the cycle to take action. This is not it. Oh, what do you do? Oh, you're about to crash. And then when you crash and burn, you blame everybody else. Yeah. Then you have the sisters who, and I have done this as well, I always speak about myself. You walk around with a closed off heart, but you think because you're doing things for other people that your heart is wide open, not realizing you're doing something from someone else. You're extracting this feeling that you get, this high, and you think it's happiness. No, I'm happy to help. I just want to help you. Why? How are you feeding off of this? What do you get out of this? What do you get out of constantly giving yourself away in the name of love, or in the name of unconditional love? You are trying to extract something from an outside source to make you feel a certain way, to make you feel happy or joyful about your life, to make you feel like you have a purpose, to make you feel like you're actually giving something to the world. But what you're doing is actually you're pulling, and you keep pulling, you keep wondering why something's not right. That's out of balance. It's this, not this. I'm trying to help you with your life because I'm ignoring my own, because if I pay attention to my life, oh my God, then you'll have to deal with it. And then you'll have to open your heart and examine it and realize just how dark it's been inside. But it's okay, because we always surround ourselves with at least one person in our lives who can help illuminate fuck shit. And then we have the sisters who are afraid to speak up for themselves because they're not confident in their creative ability and in their ability to stand in their power. Or we have the sisters who talk way too much. They have diarrhea of the mouth, but it's for the same reason. If I keep talking, I will feel heard. If I keep talking and I don't stop and I don't allow anyone to have a word in edgewise, I don't have to stop and examine myself. And I don't have to really listen to and hear the crazy shit that is coming out of my mouth. Blah, blah, blah. When we have a sister who is not centered in her first eye, she's not centered in her intuition and her ability to imagine and visualize the world that she wants to create, or the project, or to even pull the energy to her that nourishes her so that she can give back. These people will siphon off everyone else's dreams, everyone else's plans. They will take everyone else's ideas as their own, or they will walk around and feel like they cannot. And you'll hear them all the time, girl, I just can't. We use it as a joke, but out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. This is when you can get real petty. I'm not petty, but sometimes that's like saying, I don't play in the dirt, or I don't play in filth. But every once in a while, I dive in that bad boy just to prove a point. You don't really have to. It's when you're misaligned with anything that is outside of you being self-sourced, This is when things start to become misaligned and you become the very thing, the very person, the very woman that you were taught to hate from your conditioning, or that you were taught to resent. There are a lot of mothers who were unafraid to explore their sexuality, or even to explore the fact that they have a sensuality. And so they put their daughters on lock from exploring themselves. And so they'll say, you better not be gay. But the daughter may just have a bestie that she loves, and they hang out and they're affectionate because contact is the secret, and they hold hands and they hug each other before they go to their separate homes. Don't do that. That's gay shit. And the child can't hear that behind that anger and that antipathy from the mom or from the father, that this person didn't get a chance to explore and express themselves either. So they're going to condition you not to do it as well. There's a common theme here, and it deals with freedom, the freedom to be your authentic self. Because when you are aligned in yourself, that's what creates the freedom for you to be who you want to be the creator that you want to be. And so when we go up to the crown, this is where we lose connection with source, with God, Goddess, Mother, Father, God, the universe, the omniverse, whatever you want to call it, your highest self, your I am, whatever it is that you want to call it. We know that there is something that is not outside of us completely, but also inside of us, but we don't necessarily know how to tap into that. And this is why people will go to readers. They'll go to astrology readers, tarot readers, oracle card readers, oracles. They'll get intuitive energy readings. They'll go to someone to interpret their dreams. And it's not always because they're completely out of alignment, but we all have those moments where we can begin to feel stuck. And so we go to other people whose job it is, their daily job, to stay connected. So you go to this person and you honor them by paying them, giving alms, or making an offering, in the least saying, can I give you an offering? Because they have to go through certain experiences in order to stay tapped in, tuned in, turned on, whatever you want to call it, in the vortex, in the flow, in the zone, in the holy of holies, behind the veil. Doesn't matter what title you put to it. But these are the people that you go to for that, to bring you back into awareness of yourself, of your gifts, of your talents, of your purpose. Okay. And so I'm going to check the comments, and then I'm going to talk about what your haters know about you. Make sure. Okay. So the reason why I say what your haters know about you is that we're all energy sources. And a lot of times when you're walking around unaware of what you're putting out, other people feel it and they see it. And unfortunately, this opens the door for people to be taken advantage of. I don't like to say taken advantage of, to be taken disadvantage of. I know it sounds weird, but that it sounds right to me. It resonates with me, because now they're going to misuse who you are and your talents and your skills. And so because you don't know who you are, your foundation is based off conditioning. You haven't taken the time to set your foundation. They get to see all of your gifts and talents when you're in your flow, because we all go into flow at different times. The thing about it is, it's not necessarily sustained, because we don't really know how to turn it on and keep it on, or turn it off at some point. Sometimes I have to turn off because people's relatives will try to contact me. They love to tap into my dreams. This is my dream. I'll holler at you when I'm turned on, okay, when I can receive you. But right now it's my time to recharge. So people can see your talents and your gifts, and you can't. And they thinking, she doesn't even know what she has. This sister can write her ass off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her to write for me. And at some point, They'll end up taking credit. They won't pay you properly. You'll feel taken disadvantage of, and you'll feel empty. There are people who have amazing talents of singing. I've seen lead singers sing background for years because they've tricked themselves into believing that they have to completely start from the bottom, work their way up to the top. They have to put in their work for 15 or more years. It's not like that all the time. It's not that you have to be in the spotlight immediately, but you don't have to do the grueling work for someone else and not invest time in yourself. And so that when it is your time, you had a family and you started a relationship and a business and this or that. And so you don't really have time to go out and properly use your given talents and gifts. You're drained. You've given it all away, thinking that you were being humble. But being humble and having humility does not, it's the other side of narcissism. We're all narcissists in our own way. We all are. However, we know that true narcissists, they don't give a damn about anybody but themselves and their agenda. And those who operate completely and totally off of being humble and having the utmost humility and being so meek that they're constantly getting smashed by the narcissists, they're off balance too. When you can come into the middle and know that what I give to me, I can give to you. When my cup is full, and once it's full and running over, once it's pressed down, shaken together and running over, then I can give to you from my abundance. And I want you to give to me from your abundance so that we're not draining one another. Again, we're edifying one another. We're nourishing one another. Sistership is to nourish. It is not to take away, to strip, to demean another woman and make her feel like shit and spill all the tea and give her all the shade or whatever you want to call it. All this shit that we have been trained to think that it's, it's sarcastic. It's just for fun. But if you take the time to examine your true friendships, you'll find that you probably don't have a lot of true friends. And when you don't have a lot of true friends, go all the way back down to your root chakra and ask yourself, what kind of foundation did you set that friendship up on? Where did you close yourself off from getting the information that you needed, from renewing yourself and renewing your mind from source, outside of your ego, completely outside of your ego, because your ego is a tool. A lot of people will say, and I want to speak about ego here. I said I was going to backtrack a little bit. And so a lot of people think that your ego is something that you need to kill. Well, in this school, the ego is not something that you need to kill. The ego is something that you literally need to make friends with. Do you know why? Because again, you matter. You're in physical density. You're here. You're planted. You're dwelling on the earth. You are earthbound. Okay? You are not up in the ether somewhere kicking it. You're here. And you're channeling spirit through this body. And because you're channeling the spirit through your body, it needs a personality. It needs to be able to say, and through my purpose of being a food connoisseur, being a cuisine connoisseur, I feed people. I love this. This is how I like to feed people. I like to feed people through cannabis cuisine. I like to feed people in a way that does not harm the earth, in my particular opinion. I don't use any animal products. I don't use blah, blah, blah. Or I like to show people that you are indeed a carnivore. You have incisors and this and that, and you can incorporate a small amount of meat in your diet. Whatever your personality is, it's supposed to work for you. It is a tool for you. You pair the personality with the body. You pair the ego with the body. The ego innately just wants to survive. That's it. It's like, please don't kill me. Why would you kill me? Because at some point, when you step into spiritual maturity, we're going to be a team. We're going to work this out together. So if you are busy trying to kill your ego, then you're going to be trying to kill someone else's ego, which means you're going to try to kill someone else's personality, which is why it hurts so much when a sister tells you she doesn't like you, or she doesn't like your personality, or you have a nasty personality, or a nice, nasty personality. It is because your personality is supposed to be a part of you. And you examine the parts that do not serve you. And you're able to transmute them, to change them into something that serves you, so that you can then serve others. Easy peasy, right? It sounds easy, but we're constantly being conditioned to think that we have to kill off our ego, or that we have to hide it, or that we have to face it and beat it up and subdue it and make it our bitch. I mean, yeah, you can make your ego your bitch, but usually when you make somebody your bitch, they're not happy after a while, because then it feels like they're being enslaved. Your ego doesn't want to be enslaved. Your personality wants to work for you, but it's saying, hey, remember when I was developing and we got hurt real bad at that particular age? Yeah, that's where I stopped growing. That's our emotions are based on our personality. Or some people say our personality is based on our emotions. It's based on our energy in motion. We are constantly in motion. We are to constantly expand, even when we have cycles to be at rest. It is because we're taking all that nourishment and we're growing within so that we can express it to the world, okay? So we have this personality that's been hurt. And so this personality is a perpetual 7-year-old or a perpetual 9-year-old. And so when your feelings get hurt, that little 9-year-old comes out to protect itself, to defend, or put offense on it. A lot of comedians are on the offense all the time. Let me make you laugh about my shit before you make me feel bad about it. Or people who are constantly defending. I did it because there was a reason. I have an excuse. I'm coming straight from victim mode, okay? Just listen, look at Linda, listen, this is why, because I was so hurt. So you have you're not gonna hurt me because I can hurt myself worse than you can hurt me. Paired with everybody just keeps hurting me. So let me tell you why I was trying to protect myself. If you can put your hands together and you can do what I just did and feel the vibrations, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel cohesive. It doesn't feel nurturing at all. So when sisters come together, one person is focused on this woman's balanced solar plexus, and her root is messed up. And another sister is worried about this other sister's first eyes. I don't know if she's really connected to spirit because I don't feel it. Well, you might want to check your crown and your intuition, because all we are reflections of one another. Now you can learn how to utilize the purpose of your sisterships to continue to keep you to bring you into alignment, so that you can then share your purpose, which will help them remain in alignment with themselves. It sounds really easy when you say it out loud, don't it? But we're so afraid. We're afraid she's going to take our man. There are women who are afraid that their sister friends are better mothers than them. And so, I mean, you're a great mom and all that, but these are my children. She ain't trying to take your children. What she's trying to do is give you a break, my sister. The village is a real thing, and we've disassociated from the village. There was a meme that I saw in regards to the village. It said something like, I've seen the village and I don't want them raising my children. Well, you may want to just disassociate yourself from that village and find the village that works for you, because we all need help. As any mother, it doesn't matter if she has a husband and a sister wife or two. We all need help, period. Whether you have children or not, whether you have a business or not, whether you're a dog mom or a cat mom or an iguana mom or a ferret mom, or you have imaginary friends, whatever it is that you use as companionship, and whatever it is that you're channeling your energy into to create something, to create a relationship with and to and through something. We all need bolstering. We all need encouragement. We all need support. Sometimes that support feels like somebody's pushing you. If they're not pushing you into your purpose, then they're pushing you to something that is not going to serve you. So the people who are pushing you, the sisters who are pushing you, should know from you what your purpose is, what your goals, plans, and dreams are. If they're deviating from that blueprint, it's going to be jacked up. And that means that your foundation is messed up. But if they're saying, you said you wanted those double paned solar panel windows with the thermal seal on them so you can have a lower light bill, girl, I got you. If they're saying, you don't need no windows, I know it's snowing and raining outside and the trees are coming through, girl, I don't have any windows. Meaning I don't have any self-confidence. I don't have self-confidence enough to leave my job and start my business. I don't have enough self-confidence to leave Hemi Shim Shang Chong, who does not take care of himself, which means he can't take care of me. I don't have any confidence that my children are going to go to college, or that my children are going to be able to say, I don't want to go to college. I already know my purpose and I already know what I want to do. So I am going to try to make sure that I push you into the direction that I'm going in. Because if I don't feel worthy, you shouldn't feel worthy either. If they're doing that, disassociate. It's okay to pull yourself back. But you can always leave them with a loving message. Hey, sis, I know my purpose, and what you're saying or the energy that you're giving doesn't really resonate with my purpose. And I'm not asking you to resonate with my purpose at all. What I'm telling you is that I have to go and take care of my purpose. I have to go and honor my purpose. And either that sister's going to realize she was misaligned with your purpose, or that maybe the purpose of you being in her life was to walk away from her and show her, this is what it looks like when I'm operating out of alignment. Gotcha. It doesn't mean that you all ever have to be friends again. It doesn't ever mean that you all have to get together and do things. But sisterhood, sistership is beyond bloodlines. It's beyond living in the same state, living in the same neighborhood. It's beyond always having to have the same circumstances. Sometimes you are meant to separate from your sisters in order to grow, so that when you come back together, that bond is so much stronger. I have some sisters who, and I'm not concerned whether they still call me sisters or not, who we had a falling out. I have no doubt in my mind that I will see some of them again, and that some of us will grow closer together. It will not be the same sistership, but that's the point. That's the amazing, loving gift about sistership in any relationship, is that you can come back together and create something new. When you have poured a new foundation and you understand your purpose, when you come together, you don't have to worry about dealing with her insecurities or her dealing with your insecurities, because you're now secure in yourself. Your root chakra is grounded. Your root chakra does not have to be grounded in your home or your job. This is about you, the spiritual, mental, physical you. So that whatever you decide to give or however you decide to operate in your purpose, you're constantly building and growing with your sisters, for your sisters, right beside your sisters. Sometimes you're pushing. Sometimes she's pulling you into something greater. Sometimes you have to say, I need a break. I need a break. But it's a loving break. I'm still sending you love, and I still feel your love. I gotta go have some time to myself. Okay? Because what people know about you is that you're giving off this amazing energy. But the hate comes not because they just generally hate you, because you just all that in a bag of chips and they just hate a full bag of chips. Nobody hate a full bag of chips. We've been asking Frito-Lay, can you please fill the bag of chips like you did in the 80s, because we're tired of buying air. Okay? We love bags of full chips. We do. We want to get all our money's worth. Okay? We want to get all our sisterships worth, all of our friendships worth. We want to do that. When you see someone hating on you, it really means that they love what you're doing and they're afraid to do it. We know that, right? You know that if that person's hating on you, First and foremost, this person does not feel safe within themselves to create and express from a place of unconditional love what their self-fulfilling prophecy is, because they're disconnected from source. And that's okay, because either I can offer them, hey, my sister, the table is spread. There's room enough for everybody to have a seat at the table. Or I can say, not at this time. I choose not to enter that energy, but I will hold space for this individual. There are times when I see women, whether it's online, in person, what we'll do is when we get in victim mode, when we make a decision that goes against our purpose, we enter victim mode. Or narcissistic mode, but that's still from a place of victimhood. And what we'll do is we'll dwell and swim in a pool of guilt and shame. And so when someone asks, hey, what's the matter? So what have you brought into matter? What have you created? Okay. Oh, stop doing that. I fucked up. I did so and so, so and so. There's nothing that can be done about it. Absolutely nothing. You know what I say? Okay. Because you just told me that you are not yet willing to do the work in order to pull yourself out of the pool of fuck shit that you yourself created. You're telling me that you do not want to be accountable for your choices and your actions. You want to continue to react instead of having the responsibility to get yourself back into alignment so that you can move forward, so that you can heal and move forward. Okay. So I just say, okay, because I'll get pulled in. I will not allow myself anymore to get pulled into swim in someone's pool of victimhood. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't serve anybody. I can hand you a towel so that you can go shower and rinse that bullshit off. And when you come out, hey girl, clean the pool out. Let's swim some laps in the clean pool. Let's gain some clarity and come back into alignment and come back into love. Because when you're operating from a place of guilt and shame, you're not operating out of love. You've stepped outside of yourself. Okay, I want to check the comments really quickly, and I'm going to talk about state of being. Lord, I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, beautiful, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so in talking about the state of being, how you're doing versus how you are being, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to fast forward to speaking about tempus incognito. Okay, so tempus incognito is a term that came to me on Mushroom Journey. Yeah, and I remember feeling the words before I saw the words in my mind's eye. And it really struck me because I'd never heard of that before. And when I went to look it up, it was really hard for me to find what I was seeking. Help